Now it's time for
Culture swap.
Swap My Culture.
What did we do this week, Liam?
We played The Witcher 3, and I played it for 38 hours and 3 minutes.
I played it for 47 hours and 32 minutes.
Now, I would like to just say, probably played it for more than that, because there's a lot of times where I made like the wrong choice, or I fucked up, or I died, so I went and loaded an old save.
That's cheating.
How's that cheating?
That's cheating. That's gaming the system.
How is that cheating?
In a game like this, your decision should be your decision.
Not if it results in everyone dying.
What do you mean everyone dying?
I don't know, there's
The
definitely
game doesn't let everyone die. There's no like decision at the beginning where the game just goes, right, the main quest's over. Good job.
Like, not...
What do you mean? Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me an example of what
It's mostly like if I die, or if I lost a round of Gwent. I didn't like that, so I'd restart.
See, I can accept the Gwent because I am aware that... Well, no, because you can just play it again, couldn't you?
Yeah, I know, but I want it to be good.
Yes, I can't accept the Gwent. Jesus Christ.
Because in my head, I'm like, well, I haven't lost one.
And what about the... Well, Jesus, really?
Yeah.
You're so pathetic.
Yeah.
What about the dying? Was that the same thing? You're just like, I haven't died in this game.
Yeah.
Because I've died and just been like, yeah, cool.
No, my
It
character...
It reloads from the save if you die.
No, because I'm role-playing my character, right? And my character doesn't die.
Yeah, but it reloads. It reloads a save file if you die.
I've done it manually.
That's insane.
Yeah.
If you die, it just loads the last checkpoint.
Didn't like it.
But, I mean, it's not like, oh, you've come back to life. It literally reloads the save. It's doing what you're doing.
And there's definitely some... So here's sometimes when a decision was made, right?
Go on.
Early on in the game, there's... Alright, this is going to be confusing to any listeners that haven't played the game. We'll backtrack in a minute and catch you up, but just let me finish my point, thank you. There's certain dialogue choices, and if you have a certain skill, it unlocks an additional choice sometimes. Like there's like a mind manipulation type skill, right?
Yep.
So there'll be certain times when I didn't have enough slots to have that in always. So I'd start a conversation, then that would come up as an option, but would be like readied because I couldn't use it because I didn't have that skill equipped at the time. So I'd be like, right, well, I want to use that, so I'd have to reload so I could use that option.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
No, that's just the game poorly designed by it
No,
going...
No,
Yeah,
listen, no, you just made a point. It's my turn. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm listening, come on, make your point.
So that's not a poor game design. Shut up! I'm genuinely making a legit point here. I let you make that stupid comment. So
You didn't let me explain it.
Comment. What?
You didn't let me explain it.
Oh, sorry, carry on then. I didn't realise there was more.
Yeah.
Was your point not there weren't enough slots for me to use it, so I reloaded the game and put it in there?
So, no, what the point is because obviously the spell slots are primarily for combat, right? I feel like when it's dialogue, if you've got that spell like unlocked and you've put points in it, if it's just for dialogue, it should still let you use that. You shouldn't have to have it equipped for combat reasons. That's all my point was. I don't think it's unreasonable.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, but so what I'm saying is, right, it's designed so that you make a decision of what you're going to pick. If you could have everything you unlocked, or even just those things, right? So even if it was just that one, I mean, one, that would be fucking weird if for some reason one of the skills you buy you can just always have and all the others you have to slot. But
no,
aside from that...
not that you always have it, it's
aside
just
from that,
if it's a dialogue option.
Let me make my point. I let you make your point. Let me make mine. Good boy.
Let me make my point. My name is Jack.
The way it works, right? So, listeners, the way it works is I think you start with... Do you start with just one?
Yeah.
Or do you start with three?
No, I start with like one.
Yeah. Okay, so you start with these slots, and when you buy an ability, you have to put it in one of those slots to use it. You unlock more as you level up, and I think the maximum you get is 3, 6, 9, 12.
Yeah.
So the way you're meant to play it, Liam, or at least the way I'm doing it, is I always have that one slotted.
Well,
because I know that I'm going to use it, right? I know I'm going to use it because my character does. But some people, like, you don't have to use that.
Right, but here's the thing.
Like, there are always solutions to it that don't require that.
Here's the thing, right? So you have the most basic of that always available to use as a spell, okay? And obviously what we're talking about is something that we've unlocked to make it stronger, right?
Yes.
So you can always use the base level in combat, but you can also use the stronger level in combat. I'm just saying, if you've unlocked the stronger level, but it's not currently equipped...
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about it in combat.
In dialogue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Liam. I think the idea... I think, right, this isn't just about that, okay? So this is taking it down to a real, like, basic level of what I think they tried to do. Okay,
I think it's
so
stupid.
that's fine. You can think I'm stupid.
No,
so,
not you. The game.
You think it's stupid? So
Yes.
I just assumed.
I mean,
But so what I think
well.
they were doing was fuck off. What I think they were doing was because you've got all these different skills, and some of them, like there's the combat tree ones, and you get ones that increase your light attack damage, and a different branch increases your heavy attack damage. One increases your dodge, and then in the spell one, you've got one that increases each of your different spells that you've always got a base
alchemy
level of, like
ones
that one.
as well.
Yeah, then there's the alchemy, which one line focuses on bombs, one on the oil you can coat your weapons in, all that stuff.
And then there's the brown
So what I think they were doing...
That's like necessary.
Yeah, they're just like bonus ones.
No, they're necessary if you're doing Deathmarch, trust.
I don't know if they are. I think you might just be shit at the game. But anyway, so what I think they were trying to do, and what I think they've done, because that's the way I'm playing it and it works, is they were getting you to like play your character in a certain way. Like you got to choose what way you played your character. But my one, I think I've got 2 light attack increase things. Then I've got a dodge one, because I dodge all the time, and I rarely parry. And then I've got the fire spell upgrade and that mind control one. And I've got a third one of that blue, but I can't remember what one I picked.
Should go for Quen. Quen's good.
I think it might be Quen.
Yeah, right. So
I definitely have 3 reds, 3 blues.
Right, let's just catch listeners up, okay? Because if you don't know what The Witcher 3 is, this is all going to be very confusing. So, The Witcher 3, it's a PlayStation game. I haven't played
and Xbox
number 1 or 2.
Neither have I. I've briefly played 2.
Yeah, but the story in those games does have an impact on this one, and even when it starts, it asks you if you'd like to kind of replicate a previous previous gameplay. So
yeah,
there's certain big decisions that you might have made in previous games that you can program in here, and that will affect how this game plays out. Or there's just a standard, typical thing to opt for, which is what I went for because I hadn't played them. And it is basically a role-playing game where you ponce around, fighting monsters, and talking a lot, right?
I'm not rising to you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to explain the game for anyone that
you're giving it a really biased opinion.
Well, feel free to chip in.
Oh, okay. So The Witcher 3 is an RPG where you explore the world of Geralt of Rivia.
Okay, yeah.
Meet his famous friends, slay beasts for contracts, save the world a bit at a time, Liam.
Cool, I think you really sold it to anyone that was maybe sitting on the fence.
I think I might have sold it better than you. I think if someone was on the fence and they heard yours, they'd probably go no.
And they just say
if they heard mine, they might go yes.
Time. So, where do you want to start with discussing this? Because I feel like there's a couple of key points that we need to break down. Okay, I think we've got story as one key point.
Yep.
We've got combat as another.
I don't know if that's a key point, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's a.
I mean, that should be gameplay. Combat's part of gameplay.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So you got story and gameplay.
Yeah.
And then you got Gwent.
Yeah, all right. Okay, that's fair enough. Let's do the 3.
Those are the 3, right?
I think we should finish on Gwent.
Cool. Okay.
So should we do story first?
Yeah. So okay, the basic, the hook to this story, if you will, is you've kind of got an apprentice, a girl called Ciri, who goes missing, and as far as I'm aware, the entire story of this game is you trying to find her. And there is also some stuff with this wild hunt thing that hasn't, at this point, at 38 hours and 3 minutes in, hasn't been massively explained. It's just been kind of glimpsed.
Yeah, you have to fight them at the beginning.
Yeah, but they keep returning.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying...
Yeah. I don't really know what they're looking for and what they're, doing. They're just there.
Yeah.
They're like the big bad, if you will.
I don't think they're the big bad, but yes, I get what you're saying.
I mean, at this point in the game...
I mean, they might be. It could be that, what's his face, fair enough, maybe they are.
So at this point...
the reason I'm saying I don't think they're the big bad is because so far, like you said, they haven't had a huge impact.
Yeah, it's just to me, it feels
so I don't think they're the big bad in the traditional sense.
Okay.
They're not always there. It's not like every time you get close, suddenly the wild hunt appear and stop.
Yeah, no, they're just sort of in the background.
Yeah, they're hunting for her as well.
Yeah. And so that's it. So what I will say is, story-wise, I find it often tedious, sometimes interesting, often tedious.
Whereas I had the opposite feeling.
Yeah. I think when it's most
really
interesting is when you've got quite morally ambiguous dilemmas to work your way through.
Yep.
There's a good example, and the first kind of, you got to have a starting area, which the starting area alone took me 5+ hours to to get through.
Yeah, it's a pretty big area.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. The starting area was what like hooked me into this game and made me think, yeah, I want to play more of it. Really good. So much regret. The first like main quest is all about this guy called the Bloody Baron. And if you want to play this game, we're going to get into spoilers a little bit. But basically, it's about how his wife was pregnant and he used to beat her. And then, did she have an abortion or a miscarriage?
No, miscarriage.
It was a miscarriage.
I think so.
And that turned into some weird demon thing. I can't remember the name of it. Like Bogler? No, what was it called?
Yeah.
Something weird.
Yeah. Shit. It's something yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird little demon thing, and it's all about him basically having to get over himself.
Right, sure.
Like, feel
just
free to
really
interject,
quickly, listeners.
Jack.
Just super, yeah, I'm going to. Super, like, the way Liam's describing this, the whole sort of point of this, like, because you said it's a good example of the moral grey area stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right? You're putting it very black and white. Because the way you're describing it is just the Bloody Baron is the bad guy. That's what you just described. But when you actually play through that story,
you find out
that, like, no, he's not.
He's a dick.
Yeah, but you find out that the reason he's got reasons for why he did that.
Go on then.
His wife cheated on him when he was at war and slept with some other dude and didn't tell him about it.
Yeah, so his solution was to get drunk and beat his wife. But
yeah,
according
he
to
says
Jack,
he does
he's
it
an
once and then he
okay
regretted
guy.
it. He's not a good guy, Liam. I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see, again, you're seeing it whilst you're saying you like the black and white, like you like the grey area stuff.
Yeah.
You're ignoring the grey area.
Well, he was a dick.
Because it's bad that he beat his wife. Yeah, it is. But it's also bad that she cheated on him.
He's a dick, though.
Yeah, he is a dick, but it is a grey area because whilst he's a dick, at the end he genuinely is repentant, or at least in the storyline that I played through it.
Yeah,
my one seemed fucking hugely repentant. Like me and him went down to save his wife.
Yeah, I think there's some, like, obviously, I think we both played it quite similarly, because I had the same, and I don't know, here's one of the things about this game, is when you're playing it, you have decisions to make, and they feel like they're quite big decisions, but I'm not sure, once you've made those decisions, how much the game would sort of vary. So just as an example, say if two people were playing and they both made the different decisions, how much their game would vary from the others. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it does. But we know it varies because we've both talked about what happened in our stories at the end, and mine is different to yours. Like, I know what you're saying, though. I do know what you're saying because, to be fair to what you're saying, there's a lot of times, because it usually in conversations gives you two options.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of times where no matter what you pick, he says something, and I'm very aware that if I'd picked the other option, they could easily have just used that same line.
Yes.
And that annoys me.
And sometimes
for the big stuff,
the option that they give you, you pick it thinking that it means one thing, but he then says something that's similar to it, but actually means something slightly different.
I've had ones where I wanted to do something nice and then ended up like killing someone.
And that's
being like, I didn't want to kill that person.
And that's the time when I would have reloaded and made.
I didn't reload. I went, hey, Geralt, you're your own man. Fair enough.
Well, I went, hey, I wish this game had been clearer with its intentions, and restarted.
But for the difference between the choices we make having an impact.
Yeah.
In my storyline, there's a specific bit where you get this option to, you find these kids that are living with this weird hermit lady who you later find out is the Baron's wife.
Yeah.
And there are these evil characters called the Crones, who are these three sort of witches almost, but they're not really because they're like deformed monsters.
Here's the issue I had with this bit, is my game glitched during all this stuff. So
oh, that's right, you told me this.
Yeah, the crones, I never got any audio for them. I had subtitles on so I could read what they were saying, but all I got was background audio while they were talking, which was really fucking annoying.
That is really annoying. Their voices were really good. They suited them.
The game shouldn't have glitched then, should it?
Especially... Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that's your fault.
Yeah, no.
I was saying it sucks that it glitched.
Considering this is not a new release, this has been out for a year.
Yeah, it's a big game though. Like, I've got sympathy for why there are glitches, but I do wish they would fix them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. Chill out.
I'm chilled.
Chill, bro.
I'm very chilled.
Okay.
I'm like Mr. Freeze.
So that happens. The crones happen, and then you get this choice where you go to a hill. It's like a sacred hill or something to the people.
Yeah.
Or, no, people have just been killing. There's been lots of deaths.
Yeah, and it's a tree spirit thing.
Yeah. So this. If I'd understood more clearly what was going on at this point, I don't know if I'd have made the same decision I did.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't 100% sure that creature was evil.
Yeah, it's
Because I was like, oh, maybe it's like because the crones tell you it's evil, and I was like, well, they're evil, so why would I believe them?
I think the game does deliberately mislead you.
Yeah, because it's like so basically you didn't do what I did. You ended up killing that monster.
Yeah, I was just sick of
and I
shit.
saved it.
Yeah,
and I think that was the point where the two stories of ours diverge more for the ending, because that meant that for me the orphans lived and fucked off somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, whereas for me the crones ate the orphans, and seeing that turned the Baron's wife mental, and it ends with him taking her away. But this is the thing. So yeah,
did you end up having to fight her?
No.
Okay, so in my one, right?
Yeah.
After that happened, I go back down there. Me, the Baron, and his daughter all went down to that little village she had.
Yeah, did that.
Yeah, and they find her on the floor.
Yeah.
And because the kids have escaped, the crones curse her and turn her into a water hag.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't have any of that.
Yeah, see, so that happened, and then we did this whole fight to save her, and then she dies. It was real bad.
Oh, yeah, so that didn't happen. It ended with the Baron just taking her away. But here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, we both had quite different endings there, but it's not like that actually affected, the world, if you know what I mean.
That's going to happen in any game like this.
It's a bit frustrating.
The idea of choices affecting an outcome, Liam.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like Until Dawn, where you have...
Yeah.
Until Dawn is basically a story.
Yeah.
Like, there's not... there is a game there.
Yeah,
it's more... It's like a choose-your-own-adventure, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can have all these crazy branching stories in a game like that.
Yeah.
But because The Witcher's got all this gameplay stuff and, like, a core map, like, you can't have game-changing events.
No, I get that.
Change
But you
it. Like, I'm not saying,
know.
I'm not saying, oh, you're an idiot.
No,
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. Like, I would love a game that was like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, you're seeing that I'm making very reasonable points.
I'm not going to say it, though.
No, of course not, but we know that that's what you're seeing here. So that's the story part of it, basically. Like,
well, whoa. No, I don't want to just talk about what you think about the story. I really like the story.
No, I haven't finished. Let me finish.
You just said that's the story part!
If you'd let me finish my sentence before you jumped in, I was going to say... That's the story part from my perspective. Now, right. I've seen a little bit more of like the main story. Like, I'm currently going through the quest for a character called Dandelion. I know you've obviously resolved that, so I can't talk too much about it. But that's the main story. There's an awful lot of side missions and contracts and lots of other nonsense to be getting on with.
Yeah.
It's just... Here's what bothered me. When you do the main story, you get a lot of experience, right? A lot of experience. You level up like crazy. When you do the side quests and all that stuff, you get fuck all.
Yeah, I was doing quests that gave me like 10 experience.
Yeah, and it was really annoying because I was the right level to be doing it. I wasn't like over-leveled or anything. It really felt like... It almost felt like the game didn't really want me doing these side quests because it just wasn't like rewarding me for it.
Yeah, well, I don't think it does want you... I think it wants you to do them. But I don't think the game wants you to like actively seek them out and find all of them.
That's not what I've been doing. I've just
I wasn't saying that.
I've just been going through them. I just kind of wish there was more of an incentive because I've got a lot now that I've just been ignoring because I'm like, well, it's a lot of my time to do this side quest for not a lot of reward.
Yeah, the thing I've found, is that I enjoy the main storyline quests. I enjoy the quests that branch off from that. So some of those side quests will be things like you're doing the main story, like a lot of the Dandelion ones are like you'll be doing the main story and then one of the characters in that story says like, oh, help me do this, and you're like, and that gives you a side quest, and I've enjoyed those ones. I don't necessarily like the side quests that are just random, like, or they feel like you're walking around and some random stranger's just like, I dropped a coin in a well, and then you go and explore the well.
I had a recent one where I had to teach this woman how to do some sword fighting.
Oh, I did that one, her and her twin.
Yeah, that felt like it had a lot of potential that they just snuffed out really quickly.
It was interesting, but it did end very quickly. And
she had quite a lot of like sexual tension, I thought, with Geralt.
Yeah, she did,
And it just seemed really weird that like
this is another difference between our characters that we should probably clarify because sex stuff is coming. Well, this game has a fair amount of sex that you can potentially do.
I thought he was going to buff her, and then she just disappeared.
Liam's character basically will fuck anything that moves.
Yeah.
My character loves Yennefer, who is the main romance.
My character buffed her.
Yeah, so's mine.
You got to see her boobies.
Yes, you do. So my character, like, I don't know.
It's a
just
very
the way
mature game. We should say that.
It is very mature. Yeah.
Like, in case people haven't figured that out yet, when there's miscarried demons and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty
I mean, one of the random upgrades you can have on weapons is just like plus 10% chance to dismember.
Yeah.
Which I love. That's my favourite upgrade.
Yeah, it's quite mature. The sex stuff wasn't that sexy.
It's not meant to be, Liam. It's not porn.
Then why is it there?
It's because it's part of the story.
It is, right? But, okay.
Like, Mass Effect had sex stuff, and that game isn't a porn game.
But, Jack, you know how you always have a go at me when I read my erotic comics?
Can we please not bring them up when we're talking about a different thing?
No, it relates, okay? You have a go and you're like, oh, it's just porn. What is the point in a game like The Witcher 3 of showing, like, Yennefer's boobs? If it's not porn, and two, you could easily do that in a much classier way where you don't show them. You could still be like, oh, they clearly had sex, but you don't need to show the boobs.
Alright, well, Liam, for example...
Yeah?
Right, so the difference between your porn comics and a story with boobs or whatever in it...
Yeah.
...would be that your porn comics, and you've got to admit, I know that you don't read them, so you claim, for that sort of porny aspect.
Yeah.
But 100% there are dudes out there masturbating to that.
Oh, probably.
Like 100%. Because it was written with that also as an intention, right?
Yeah.
But something that just shows boobs or sex, not Alien, Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Has a very famous scene with boobs in it. Famous because I
Yeah.
believe most of us were teenage boys when that film was around.
I don't remember it, but carry on.
What?
I haven't seen that film in years.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, there's a scene in that where just there are women in the shower, and it's very boob-filled.
Okay.
But, it's not done as... It's not the director being like, oh, yeah, just chuck some tits in. I mean, it might have been. But it's not made to be a porn thing. So, yeah, they're probably using it as a lure and like, oh, look, this game's got sex in it.
Mm.
But there's no one sitting there... Well, there might be. There's not many people sitting there knocking one out.
Do you think, in your opinion, it would have... that the boobs were necessary?
No, but I wouldn't have necessarily removed them. Not because I want them there.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't... Like, if you're having that scene, it would have felt weirder to me if you've got this game where you're beheading people. There's, like, slow-mo animations of me cutting off dudes' heads. It would have been weirder to me if I then got to a scene where sex was going to happen and it, like, did the bullshit fade to black.
Yeah, but it didn't have to fade to black, did it? It could have just shown her from behind.
Yeah, but they don't show, like, her... They don't... Like, what's wrong with showing boobs? You sound like a prude. You sound really prudish.
No, like, you know...
What's wrong with them showing boobs?
know...
When they show the boobs on the screen, Liam, I'm not sitting there going, oh, yeah, save that one for later. It just happens. They're just boobs.
I think that's the issue.
Grow up, Liam.
No, I think that's the issue,
I think you're a 13-year-old boy trapped in a man's body.
Possibly, but I think the issue is... I love boobs, okay? Big fan. It's very rare that I'll see boobs that I don't like, in all honesty. And I'm quite the connoisseur, if I say so myself. But the boobs that I like looking at are real. And I've always...
but Liam, it's not made as porn. No, because you're annoying me.
I don't care.
What's the point? I don't understand what your fucking point is.
I have issues. And I think this is why I don't read my...
there we go. No, that's it. We're done. That was all we needed. Move on. And you've said it. You have issues.
This is
yes,
also
you do.
why I don't read
what are we talking about next? The gameplay of this game.
Let me finish my point. This is also why I don't read my comics for that reason. I have issues when it comes to boobs that have been, like, created. And I don't mean surgically. I'm okay with that. I mean, like, drawn or, you know, like this where they're animated. To me, like, the fact that someone sat down and has put it all together in that way, just... I struggle with it, Jack.
Listeners, seriously, listeners, I want to have a moment with you. Just me and you, listeners. I know that when you listen to this, sometimes I come across as angry and aggressive, and I struggle to make my point sometimes, and that's fair to say, and I can accept that flaw in myself. But for real, what you're hearing Liam talk about right now, this isn't rare. This isn't a one-off thing. This is Liam. This is what I have put up with for like 6 years, 7 years.
I have no flaws.
That is, it's this, listeners. Just please.
I think
this is why I try so hard, and it's because I feel like I'm doing a service to the world. I want to change him.
I genuinely think I've made a very valid point.
Liam, it's not necessary. Right, so here's the thing. It's not necessarily the point you're making that's got me here this time. Right. What I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Is we're trying to have a discussion about the story.
Emotions.
Yeah, let's talk about my emotions. We're trying to have a discussion about the story, something that I actually like in this game and am interested in talking about. And somehow, you diverted that story and the conversation about that story into a legitimate 5-minute conversation. I say conversation, a 5-minute monologue about your opinion on tits. I'll be honest, I don't care what you think about tits. It's a minor part of the game.
But
it's a minor part of...
might.
Like, I don't think they do.
Well...
It's just weird, bro.
It is weird that they put tits in this game. I'm pleased you agree.
So anyway, I think the story is interesting. Like, I love the fact that you've got these underrunning themes and, like, you've got this, like... Because you meet these characters who Geralt clearly has tension with romantically and other things where, you know, he'll meet people and clearly there's a history there. And you can get bits of it by reading the entries they give you in the glossary thing.
I've never read any of that.
Not even the stuff about the monsters?
Nah.
I mean, it tells you what their weaknesses are.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't care because the thing is, right, yeah, it's easier that way. But it's the way it was on the
made.
hardest difficulty on Death
That's
March.
the way it was made, Liam. This is the same thing with you not using the oils.
But yeah, exactly. It's like...
But Liam, you're fucking save scum.
But get this. It's like, we want
You'll
you to
save
be a
scum
Witcher.
a game of Gwent that you lose.
But
you won't read the thing that it's literally not cheating. They're literally giving it to you and saying, yeah, you should use this.
This is saying, we want you to be like a Witcher. We want you to do your research and know how to kill these things. And the fact of the matter is, these things die if I just hit them enough times with my sword anyway. So why would I waste my time?
Because you kill them quicker. And especially on, I'd imagine, like, because you've said to me, on my save... Because I'm playing on normal. I think I'm playing on normal. Yeah. You regain health when you meditate, which is like a...
Yeah, you
it's
don't
like
get
the
it on
standard weight thing. Yeah, which you don't get on the difficulty Liam's playing on.
Yeah.
So, surely something that means you lose less health, saves you resources.
I'm not being funny, but the combat is easy enough to figure out that it is... Unless I get massively outnumbered, it's very rare that I will take a lot of damage. Maybe like they'll get a lucky hit in here or there, or like I won't see an arrow coming my way. But the combat's easy enough to get your head around that it's rare I take damage.
Yeah, but I imagine... Fair enough, whatever.
Well, that's our next section.
Sometimes
that's
I don't get... I think this is the issue. I don't know. I just feel like... I don't know. I don't think you have issues with things because of what they are. I think you have issues with things when they don't fit you. Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean, but I disagree. I think I just... like things to be good, and it bothers me when they're not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You want things to be good. Like, I can appreciate that FIFA is a game that people love, and there are things in it that are good. I don't like FIFA. Yeah, I don't think it's a fun game, but I'm aware that it is fun. Me. Yeah, but I'm aware that people like it, and it's good.
Wait, here's the thing, Jack. Just because other people like something and think it's good, it doesn't invalidate your opinion of it of it not
that's
being
fine.
good.
I get that that's... Yeah, but I don't know if you... When you talk about these things, I'm not sure if you never sound... I don't know. It just doesn't come across to me that you're saying, oh, this is why I don't like it. I don't get that feeling from you.
I mean, that's always inferred. Like, everything
I don't know if it is. I think the way you talk... Because I know you think you're, God.
Well...
Exactly.
No,
so
I wouldn't say
legitimately...
I wouldn't say God. That's a bit high. But, all right.
All right, do you want to talk about gameplay? Because you mentioned the combat. Should we talk about gameplay?
Yeah, I'd love to.
This is where, the gameplay is where I had the most issues with this game.
What issues did you have with the gameplay?
I really didn't like the horseback riding stuff.
Yeah, that was quite awkward.
It's so painful.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, just yesterday when I was finishing off the stuff and getting in Skellige and stuff, there was this bit where I was riding over a bridge.
Okay.
And it's one path, so it wasn't like... Because basically, when you double tap X, you're on your horse.
Yeah.
If you're on a path or facing a path, the horse sort of locks onto it and follows it.
Yeah, and it also, your stamina don't go down then.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a quick travel, but they've got another fast travel mechanic that's better.
Yeah.
But if there are like multiple paths, you can nudge the stick to sort of guide him onto one a little bit.
Yeah.
You've still got to then try and keep him on that path for a little bit until it sort of locks back into the, right, I'm following this route.
Yeah.
But I was on there was literally one path with a bridge over this massive chasm, and my horse was locked onto the path the whole way up, gets right to the top of the bridge, and then because when it's doing the auto lock, it doesn't tend to stick to the middle. It sort of hovers on the edge of the path. Mm-hmm. It ran off the fucking cliff, and I ended up having to take an extra 10 minutes to get where I was going because I had to navigate back out.
Should have just reloaded.
No, because the save, I don't save before every bridge.
Oh, see, that's the other thing I found with this game, because I am playing it on Deathmarch.
Yeah, you're saving a lot.
I do save like more than I need to, really.
Yeah, see, I'm not saving like at all.
Okay.
because I only ever I've probably had 2 or 3 deaths, and one of them was something fucking. I think I did something the other day, and I died at a stupid bit, like as I was getting back to. I fell off a cliff because I was in town and I was trying to go fast by jumping over ledges.
Yeah.
And I did one, and it was slightly too high, so I died. And it reloaded me so far back, and I still had to then fight the final boss again. And I was like, I've just done this.
That's not. I think one of the things that it's not a huge complaint, but it's a gripe. Is I don't know how you play these sort of games. Like I guess Elder Scrolls is a good kind of comparison. But like when I'm in a city or something, let's say it has multiple levels, I quite like getting down to a lower level by jumping off roofs and stuff.
Yeah.
I died jumping off of a roof that really wasn't that high in the middle of Novigrad.
Yeah.
And
it's weird. It doesn't give you a... I don't know what the death height is.
It's really low. Very low. But yeah, I would say the actual gameplay would break down into 2 different kind of sections. You've got the combat, and then you've got running from one conversation to the next, basically.
Well, and exploration.
Yeah, but... There's never... The exploration is very rarely quest-driven. It's more like, I wonder what's over there. Do you know what I mean? Like
exploration.
Like, quests will be like, you need to go here, and you could generally just follow a road and go there quite safe.
I don't count quest exploration as exploration. That's not... If a quest says to you, go to this place in the woods, that's not exploring.
The exploration, you can avoid it if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, at the end of the day, when you talk about exploration as a gameplay mechanic... It just means that you can just wander around, right?
No.
And discover stuff.
You've talked about exploration before in things like Destiny. It's like going and finding those hidden boxes that we started discovering right at the end.
Yeah. So like, honestly,
because Witcher's got loads of like
little hidden
points
areas
on the map that you can go to, and they give you shit.
Yeah, which I happily did in the starting area. That took 5 hours, and then I saw the amount there was in the main area, and I just haven't bothered.
Oh, they're useful. You should be doing them.
Oh, I probably should. I should probably be doing lots of things, but
yeah,
I'm managing. So yeah, you got the exploration.
But you're not enjoying it.
No, I'm not. But then,
I mean,
you've got combat to drive the story forward. Then you've got combat, and you've got.
Well, no, but then you can't cut out other bits just because they don't fit into your neat little 2 categories.
No,
just let me have exploration as a gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, I'm letting you.
All right, 3 things then.
Okay.
Thank you.
But there's the stuff that it doesn't drive the story forward, does it?
I don't care if it drives the story forward. It's a gameplay mechanic.
The stuff that does drive the story forward...
No. Just say, Liam. Just say.
What do you want to say?
The gameplay breaks down into 3 parts.
Alright.
And then say those 3 parts.
Okay. The gameplay breaks down into 3 parts. You've got exploration, which isn't that important, and then you've got the 2 parts that drive the story forward.
That's better. At least you put exploration first that time.
You've got combat.
Yeah.
And running from conversation to conversation.
Movement.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's been entire quests, right, where it's literally, go talk to this person, now come talk to me, now go talk to that person, and now come talk to me. And I got more experience doing that shit than I did when I do, like, a side quest that's like, go and kill a fucking beast that's massive. Pisses me off. And the combat shit, I don't like it. Like, it's better than some of the, like, action-y RPG games I've played, but it doesn't compare to something like Shadows of Mordor.
What is it that makes it not compare to that? That's a legit question. Because I agree. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor gameplay is really good.
Yeah, I think that is a lot smoother and a lot more fluid, and what you can do better with that is change targets. Whereas this, everything just feels a little bit clumsy. Like there's definitely times where I'm like, I want to be doing this, and I input the control to do that in the gamepad, and it does something completely different.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't do it in the way I thought it would do it.
Yeah, I've had stuff where, you try and dodge left, and for some reason the input is slightly wrong, so it dodges forward into an attack, and you get hurt.
Or it just, backs away. And another thing that's very annoying is when you sort of dodge out of the way, but you dodge too far to then follow up with a swing attack.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that is what makes the combat feel a bit clumsy, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not the smoothest thing. I don't mind it, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But I do agree, it's not the nicest combat system.
No. I think the other thing we haven't really spoken about yet, but we probably should, and I don't really know if it fits in story or gameplay, maybe it sort of straddles the 2.
Okay.
But Geralt's voice annoys me.
Yeah, you said this to me. I don't see it, or hear it, I guess.
I don't know how you don't get it.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm alone.
No, he doesn't sound like a real person. He sounds like, as I've said to you before, He sounds like Christian Bale when he's doing the Batman voice, but he sounds like that always.
See, I don't agree with you. I think it sounds right for who Geralt was meant to be.
No, because he walks around and he's like, "Oh, I'm Geralt and I've got."
That's not how he sounds. You keep giving him like a North London accent. You do a gritty voice and then you do a weird accent underneath.
I'm not good at doing voices.
I know you're not, but
like that's what he sounds like.
You said this to me as we were setting up, Liam.
I'm Geralt.
So I was looking up who did the voice because I thought, if we're going to talk about it, it's a guy called Douglas Cockle.
Oh, my name's Douglas Cockle, and I'll do the voice of Geralt.
But what I also saw when I looked it up, because I was like, I don't understand. I think he's all right. Was that he was nominated for a Game Award for Best Performance for his performance in Witcher 3.
No way.
So clearly, Liam, you
nominated.
might be in the minority. Yeah.
Nominated.
Yeah.
To just go, hello, my name's Geralt. Where's Siri? I can't find her.
Clearly, mate, you're in the minority here.
Oh, there's
You
monsters.
can keep doing your bad impression of him, but that's not... I'm going to... when I edit this, I'll edit in a line of dialogue.
Oh, yes, please do.
I will.
Please do.
I won't say what order.
Yeah, if you're angling to make it a fivesome, there's clearly no room. I'm Geralt.
Yeah, so if you're angling to make it a fivesome, there's clearly no room.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll edit in that line of dialogue said by both of you, and then I won't say which one's which.
Yeah.
I want the listeners to tweet and tell me which one's the real Witcher.
But we had quite a big discussion about this, and I feel like I'm valid in my assessment.
What, that you don't like his voice?
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand. You've given no
because I'm
argument
not
for it.
allowed.
You just said...
No, because I'm allowed to not like things, Jack.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I disagree with you. I think he's a good voice actor, and they picked a good the right guy to voice Geralt.
I do.
Damn it! You got me saying Geralt.
The voice that I do really like is Triss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like a real voice.
I don't know how I feel about the American accents.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Obviously, when I was doing my impression of Geralt, I didn't do an American accent.
No, because he doesn't. No, that's what I'm saying. You've got so Yennefer and him don't have American accents.
And there's quite a few of like just commoners as well. They're like,
yeah,
hey,
most
what
people.
What are you doing, governor? Bit like that.
You've got Velen and Novigrad sort of talk like the traditional common English peasant, whatever, from medieval times.
Yeah.
Then you get characters like Triss and Dandelion who've got American accents.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like Skellige, now that I'm there, they all talk like northern people.
I just like, I don't know who does the voice of Triss, but I like the way they've done that voice.
Yeah.
So we've only got one more section left to talk about now, haven't we?
Yep.
And would you like to get us started on that?
No, because it's your section. This is the bit you wanted to talk about, so I'm going to let you start on it.
The one saving grace for this godforsaken pile of dog shit excuse of a game. That's
You're being over the top
bit
deliberately
harsh.
to wind me up.
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah, because you don't think that.
It's not a pile of dog shit, but I don't know, like, how would you put into words between that and quite tedious?
That's fine. Just say this game. It's pretty obvious, Liam, that you don't like it, mate. You've not been subtle.
No, but I'm about to save that, right? Get ready. Because as I was saying, the one saving grace to this game, the thing that makes it redeemable and makes me kind of reluctantly play it, is Gwent. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Gwent is a card game that's built into the main game, and you can play people that you meet, and you can get different cards, you can enter tournaments, and you can build a deck, and honestly, no word of a lie, I only play the main game so I can get to the next area where I can buy more Gwent cards. That's how good Gwent is.
Sure.
This is Nerd on Nerd, where it's Liam and Jack.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say about Gwent, mate.
Give our opinions. So
okay.
Jack is going to
I'll give you my opinion of Gwent. Gwent seems like it's probably a good game. I've heard from lots of people that it's really fun. My issue with it is that it looks good, but if you ignore it for too long, right? That's it. You can't play it.
Why?
Because there are quests in the story that require you to play Gwent.
Yeah.
You don't get a choice. You just have to play it. And if you haven't collected cards up to that point, you have the worst deck.
Yeah.
I won one game by chance because I happened to draw luckily, and it just feels like if that was a real life game, it would suck.
Wait, there's only
because it would literally be whoever buys the cards wins.
There's only one point in the story that I can think of where there's a quest to play Gwent, and it's not mandatory. It's optional.
There's a mandatory one where you have to play Gwent. You might not have done it yet. Then
when's that?
you end up having to play to save someone's life.
Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I think it might that one might have been a side quest.
Well, maybe you should have been collecting the cards then.
Yeah, but that's silly. It's effectively like, whilst it's good and it's comprehensive, it's a side game still. It's not like, I know you're playing it for that, but you shouldn't be required to play the game to get these cards.
No, but when it's the best part of the game, I don't see why you wouldn't.
It's not. It's an all right game. Hearthstone is better.
I think. Well, obviously, the issue.
So what? Yeah. So if you're only playing it to collect the Gwent cards, why the fuck aren't you just playing Hearthstone?
Because we're not doing Hearthstone. We're doing the.
Oh
Witcher
no. Because you've been playing The Witcher for longer than we suggested on Nerd on Nerd.
That is true.
So don't try and use this as an excuse.
So I think what I like about Gwent is with Hearthstone. It's kind of like what you were saying with Gwent. If you don't play it, if you ignore it, it's really hard to then get into it. That's what's happened with Hearthstone. With Gwent, one of the things, and I can't quite decide if it's a good thing or a bad thing, is that the game is kind of biased towards the player. Because obviously this is a single-player experience, this game. So it always kind of, especially once you actually do start collecting the good cards, the game is kind of, the difficulty is in your favour. But
surely that's a bad thing.
Pardon?
Well, you said you didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing. Is that not a bad thing?
It doesn't to me impede my enjoyment.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it's still fun. It's not necessarily the best mechanic in a game. Yeah,
but it's fun.
But it's still fun, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Jack. But yeah, I honestly, I think Gwent is very good.
Yeah, it seems fun. The only times it's annoyed me, I don't mind it being in the game. I've got no fucking issue with it.
Yeah.
The only time it's annoyed me is when I had to play it, and I was like, my guy hasn't been collecting the cards. Why the hell would he be like, let's play this game?
That was not a bad impression.
I was doing the dwarf.
I thought you were doing Geralt.
No, I was doing Geralt. I forgot that you'd done impersonations, and I wasn't trying to do one.
No, that's fine. I liked it. Can you do it again?
No. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
That's a shame.
It's weird. I don't know. It's annoying me because the only thing I want to play, I like the look of it, Gwent, but I don't want a fucking Novigrad deck or whatever that default deck is.
Is it monsters?
No, I want monsters.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is monsters the deck that you want?
Yeah, when do you get monster cards?
Honestly, I've been playing for 38 hours and I don't even have a full monster deck yet.
It's fucking annoying.
The Novigrad one is shit, but the one next to it, I can't remember what it's called, is actually really good.
Nilfgaard?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
There's basically the Societal, which are the elves.
Yeah. So
Nilfgaard and the monsters.
Each of these groups also has like a kind of mechanic that isn't like unique to it, but the decks are kind of built around it almost. So the elves one, the big kind of mechanic to them is that you can choose which. I mean, let's not go into the rules of Gwent, but you can choose which of the lanes that you put certain cards in. You'll have like a choice of two instead of just one. The Nilfgaard one that I like is once your cards are kind of in your graveyard, you can play another card that gives you the option to bring it out.
Yeah.
Which I quite like. I don't really know what's special about the Novigrad one. It's just very basic and boring. And the Monsters one, what's good about that is there's certain cards that will call other cards of that type out of your deck.
That's
so like all your vampires cards will just come and destroy.
Yeah.
It is like I say, considering it's just a side game, a lot of thought has been put into it. It does make it enjoyable.
Don't give it too much credit. It's not like the best designed game.
No,
ever.
but it's fun. It's super fun.
It's annoying when you are playing a round and the other guy right at the end plays something that overpowers you and you've got like 2 cards left in your hand and you're like, oh right, I've just lost the 2 rounds.
Yeah, that is annoying.
At the start of a game, and you're like, well.
But if you had a better deck, that maybe wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, which to get that, I need to go back and do all the bullshit, which I don't want to do.
So, can we then just tie this into my last point that is annoying? The one thing that is very annoying about this game for me, and I know this is less of an issue for you, is the trophies. There are certain trophies in this game that are missable, and when a game's like 100+ hours long, I just think it's a bit shit to have trophies that you can get locked out of. I just think that's bad trophy design. I feel like, if let's just say, as someone who does like to collect the trophies, if I got all the way to the end of the game and then realised that I'm missing one, and I've got to go back and do like the first 60 hours again to get it, that's not good design.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
And one of the things that's been very frustrating for me to play this is I've had to look up what trophies are missable and make sure that I'm following the game in a certain way so that I don't miss them. Which makes it hard to just sit down, relax and enjoy the game. I've always got to have my laptop open with one eye to make sure I'm not accidentally locking myself out of anything.
So I have a legit question then.
Okay.
Like, I get that you want to get the trophies for games.
Yep.
I do. I understand it.
Yep.
But if it detracts from your enjoyment of a game, I don't understand why you can't just go, well, I'm not going to get the trophies for this game.
Because it's weird in that, like, I don't really know why a lot of people play games. Okay, like, I get fun, enjoyment, I want to complete it, etc. But the reason why I like to play a game is to complete it and get all the trophies. So to me, I quite like it when I get that little platinum trophy and I can go, right, I've completed that game. I've seen everything that the game makers want me to see in that game. I can put it to one side and start another one. Like, to me,
I still think you look at trophies the wrong way.
Like, to me,
did we say this before on something? Because I don't think
we have had a discussion.
I don't
about
think the game
before.
makers make trophies and go, right, we're going to make this a path to get to show people our game. I think they put it in and they go, what is a hard thing to do? Because we need 3 of those to get this.
That's where I think the trophies are wrong. In a bad.
But then why can't you just say fuck the trophies then?
Because that's what games do.
But that's what the games do. No one is making the trophies the way you want.
No, some are. There's definitely some.
What games do the good trophies?
Well, you're going to hate me when I say it.
Is it Last of Us?
No, there's a couple of annoying trophies in that.
Okay, go on.
Uncharted. You get trophies for following the game. You get trophies for doing it on different difficulties, and they stack, which I'm a big fan of. And
most games do the stacking one, though.
Yeah, which it does as well. But why The Last of Us was annoying is because I think the hardest difficulty doesn't unlock until you completed it once. You have to complete it at least twice. And then you get additional trophies for, like, finding the collectibles that are around and doing certain combat things, like getting a certain amount of headshots or killing a certain amount of enemies with this weapon. Those trophies, none of them detract from the game, and none of them are like, oh shit, I've fucked up this part of the game and now I can't get that trophy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's how I think trophies should be.
Yeah, because also,
people like you can't
to me,
deal with it.
Yeah, it adds an additional layer then, because if I was just playing Uncharted normally and there wasn't the trophy element to it, I wouldn't bother going around finding all the collectibles. But because there is the trophy, I'm willing to do it. And therefore I feel like I'm seeing more of the game that the developers want me to see. That's why I guess they put those things there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But, like, so in things like Assassin's Creed,
yeah,
I went and did all those flags not to get the trophy.
Okay, but
I just did it. I was like, oh yeah, cool, I've completed this game, what else can I do? Oh, I can go and explore the world and get all these flags.
Yeah.
It wasn't to get the trophy, I just was like, oh, I wonder if you unlock a sword or something at the end.
But just the trophy, was it?
I can't even remember. I might not have completed it.
Like, I'm happy with just the trophy. I don't need like an in-game item or anything.
But so okay, so that's fine. I get what you're saying, and I agree. That's how trophies should be, right?
Yes.
But then, if that's what I don't understand. That's what they should be.
Yeah.
They aren't that in all games. So if it ruins a game experience, which to me, like, so for example,
I think ruins is a strong word.
No, yeah,
detracts.
No, okay, but I don't know if it is, because the way I was playing Witcher 3, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to play Gwent. I was like, if I'm that desperate, I'll go back and play Gwent at the end. I'll go and just find all the cards.
Yeah, which you can't do because you lose stuff. Yeah, exactly. Don't do certain bits.
Yeah, so there's certain points in the game where a character might die and you can't get his card.
Yes.
Right? And
which is annoying,
right? And it said, you failed this quest. And I was like, oh, okay, that's right. So if I was playing it the way you were playing it, I would have to then go back to a save before I did that.
Yeah.
And I would then have to go and do all the Gwent stuff. So to me, that would ruin the game. If I had got to that point and I was trying to do trophies, but I hadn't looked it up, that would have ruined the game for me.
That's why you 100%. Look up the trophies first.
But then you're having to look up stuff. Like, that to me, I know that I'm a different type of gamer to you.
Yes.
That to me is the complete opposite of what I want to do in a game. I don't want to have to look stuff up beforehand.
Yeah,
I want to go in fresh and I want to
wrong.
experience this world.
It is very annoying having to do that. So they just shouldn't have missable trophies.
So just don't do it.
Honestly, if it wasn't such a long game, I wouldn't. But like I said, there is
way. I mean, don't do it. And then at the end, Liam, when you finish the game, just don't go and do the trophies.
But I won't.
Imagine, Liam,
finish the game.
Liam, I'm going to get real close to the mic.
Okay, let's do some real talk.
You're going to hear me real quiet, Liam, but I'm leaning very close, and the listeners will hear me very loudly.
Oh, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. What I want you to do one day, Liam.
Okay.
I'm going to find you a game.
Yeah.
And I want you to put it in, and I want you to play it.
Do you want me to put it in?
And then at the end,
hard.
Right at the end, Liam.
Fast.
When it's all finished.
Yeah.
I want you to turn it off.
Yeah.
Without the platinum trophy.
Why would I do that?
That's what I want. I just want you to do one game like that, Liam. Just one game.
Which game?
I don't know. I'll find one for you.
Here's the thing. There's definitely been some games where, like, Alien Isolation, for example. I think I've got like 75% of the trophies, and the last couple to get are really annoying. It's like one of them is complete the game without dying.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah, stuff like that. I will look at it and I'll go, you know what, that's not worth it. I'm not gonna put my time into doing that. But also in the back of my mind, okay, the way my brain works, it goes, you haven't completed that game. So I have a little like drawer next to my PlayStation games of the ones that I have completed, in which I have the Platinum Trophy. Even though I've completed the story of that game, in my mind, it's not completed.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
Thank you.
Because I think I know that it's different because you don't want to, because you are playing it that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you're playing it that way. And then the same for me. Like, if someone were to go to me, "Oh, you haven't got all the trophies in this," I'd be like, "Yeah, but I completed the game." Like,
yeah, exactly.
I know that we're both very different.
Yes.
I couldn't imagine playing a game like Mass Effect is the best example. I know you haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But that to me would be the best example of something where I could easily see. I don't know what the achievements are like in those games or the trophies, but I could easily see it being something where you then had to make different decisions than you would than you might want to.
And that to me is bad trophy design. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, no, and then I think it's sad that you would do that. Not that you would then have to make that decision.
Yes,
and I agree. It's the trophy design's fault, or whoever decides the trophies.
The trophies, I think, the trophies should be to accentuate the gameplay. You know, it should be like
in some games it should just be an impressive thing that you've done.
Yeah,
but it shouldn't be something that you have to divert yourself to do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and also something that you can easily go back and do later.
Yep.
So out of 5.
Yeah, go on. I know yours is going to be fairly low.
What would you give The Witcher 3?
I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, I really liked it.
And you've also been enjoying the books and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, after playing, say, 20 hours, I think.
Yeah.
I went and bought the books.
Would you say that after reading the books and kind of filling yourself in with the lore a bit more, is that kind of making the gameplay experience better?
It just means that you understand more in the story. Like, there are characters that they get introduced well enough. Well, they get introduced in the game and you're like, oh, okay, I know who that is. But then when you go back and read whatever story it is that introduces that character, it's like, I mean, the main one would be the relationship between Geralt, Ciri, and Yennefer. Okay. Because, like, at the beginning, when we started talking about this, you were like, yeah, Geralt's like her trainer, like her mentor sort of thing. Yeah. But, like, the actual backstory between those two is fucking, like, Geralt, because Geralt's a mutant who has no feelings. Yeah. And he basically, there's this thing, he ends up basically meeting Ciri when she's a child. Yeah. And gets bound by fate with her. And then her parents get slaughtered. And he ends up finding her again after all this. And basically he's trying to understand what he feels for her, which is love, because she's basically his daughter, who he can't have children. Okay. And same with Yennefer, like sorceresses in this world, most of them become infertile, so Yennefer's whole thing is that she really wants kids but can't have them. And there's a scene in one of the books where she calls Ciri her daughter for the first time. Yeah. Just like almost accidentally. So like then when I've read that and then I'm playing the game and I'm seeing how they're acting, you get like another sort of level to it. Like sense. It's there in the game anyway. Yeah. But I'm like, so when Yennefer says something about Ciri, I'm like, oh, it's because she's like, it's effectively like they're looking for their kid. Yeah, got you. So like, it's definitely, it has helped in the story for me. Okay, fair enough. I'd advise people read them if they want. They're quite interesting. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't suggest it to you because you don't care that much about this story. Yeah, so I think if you had like a passing interest in the backstory, go for it. If you're like me and you read the bestiary entry for every monster, then go read the book. Yes, exactly. I haven't. I'm going to give it 2 out of 5, but with the caveat that Gwen gets 4 out of 5. Fair enough. We've had some correspondence about The Witcher 3 as well. Go on. So, Soap in a Box at SoapboxPod tweeted us. Very simple, 3-word tweet. Too much narrative. Now, I'm going to say nothing because I feel like I've said enough, but I think you might have a response to this. Yeah, well, I really like the narrative of this game, so I think the opposite. Maybe not the opposite. There's enough narrative. Not too much? No, don't think so. Okay. If you don't like it, skip it. Skip the narrative? If you really... Like, if you're playing it for just the gameplay... Yeah. Like, this guy could easily have just sat there pressing square, going through all the dialogue. Fuck it. Make some random choices and just leave. It would have been a very confusing game to do that, though. Yeah, but he's the one that thinks there's too much narrative, not me. Do you not think there's a happy medium where maybe he didn't have to do that, but they could have, maybe got to the point a bit? It's a story-based game. A lot of dialogue. It's a story-based game. If you don't want to play a story-based game, find a different game.
Good advice. We've
Yeah.
also had password required at podcast required emailed us saying, how about comparisons to the Souls series? From a story perspective, I always found them a little unfair. The Witcher had a much more direct narrative, but I found combat in Souls much more satisfying. So what I'm basically getting from this, and I might be wrong, is I think what they're basically saying is they prefer the story in The Witcher, but the combat in Souls.
Yeah, which is... I've only played Bloodborne, and I've tried to play a bit of...
Which isn't
2, but...
really a Dark Souls game anyway, so it's like... It's
I mean,
the same
it's
company
the same
and stuff.
mechanics.
Yeah.
And the story's the same as the Dark Souls things, in that there's no story if you're just playing it.
Yeah.
It's all in, like, looking at the world and all that stuff.
I've never played any of the Dark Souls.
Like, the Dark Souls games and Bloodborne's combat are better than The Witcher.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
No, so I haven't played any of the Dark Souls games.
Did you not play?
I've only briefly played a little bit of Bloodborne. So
You should play more of it.
I really struggled with it, Jack.
It's difficult to get in the... it's a difficult game to get in the mindset to play.
Okay. Next time on Nerd on Nerd. It's a special episode, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Why is it so special?
It's our year anniversary. We'll have been doing this goddamn show for a year.
I just think back to poor Amanda, who's going through doing all of the episodes. That's probably like over 24 hours of content, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like each episode's roughly an hour or so, normally a bit over.
Yeah.
So if she actually listens to every single episode, she'd have spent more than a day of her life with us in her ears.
Sorry, Amanda.
I think we can only apologise.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've come up with something. I say we. Primarily Liam.
I'd say
his
solely.
little baby that he's come up with.
I would say solely Liam.
No, because I feel like I've had to put in caveats.
Yeah, that's true. You've had to
So,
ruin
like,
the fun.
You birthed this demon,
Yes.
and then I locked some of it down and said no.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell them what your majestic idea is?
For our 1 year super special anniversary episode, we are both going to write erotic fan fiction featuring each other.
We are going to be writing a piece of fan fiction each. I will write one, Liam will write one.
Mm-hmm.
We will then read it on the show. It will be 10 minutes each is the time we've allowed ourselves.
Yeah.
And then the other person will critique the work.
Yes.
And you guys can critique it too by tweeting it at us.
Perfect. And also, because obviously normally we'll say, oh, next week we'll be doing this, so if you have thoughts on it, let us know. If you want to give us any writing prompts, or if you want to have a go at writing some fan fiction even, just tweet us. Probably email us, to be honest.
How would they email us, Liam?
Real simple. They could just use any email company, provider, service, any email service that they so choose, and they just pop in a little email to nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
Yep. How else could I say I wanted to say I was more of a social media guru?
Oh, well, in that case, you can find us on Twitter @nerdonnerd.
And say I wanted to say I didn't understand technology.
Okay.
Where would I send a letter to?
Don't.
Oh, okay.
Just in the time it takes us to record this and turn it around, your letter probably wouldn't get here in time.
That is a fair point.
Yes. But they could, if they wanted to see what we look like, they could check us out on YouTube.
That's true. How would they find us on YouTube?
Oh, it's a fucking palaver.
It is.
They would have to search Nerd on Nerd. It's called a fleshlight, I think, is what we've agreed is the easiest way.
That's the one that gets you there.
That will get you there.
I mean, you could also look at our Twitter, and then Liam is very good at posting our YouTube links.
Yeah, we've been doing something new with YouTube lately as well. So maybe go and give that a look. It will only take like 3 minutes of your time, pretty much.
I don't want you to get big-headed, Liam, but the videos you've been making for us are very good.
Thank you. And I think, they've been going down well, I think.
Yeah.
In that, unlike when we just post an episode up to YouTube that gets 0 views, when we do the little short ones, they do get some views.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.